Welcome to Whispering Loudly, the award-winning Workshop Whisperer podcast, as featured by Apple, with Rachel Evans, the #1 automotive business coach in the aftermarket. Thanks to Platinum sponsor Podium and Titanium sponsor Mechanic Desk.
Whispering Loudly is the Workshop Whisperer podcast with Rachel Evans, who was working up on her phone until that point. What are you doing? Concentrate.
I am concentrating.
You're probably someone who can do 10 things at once, are you? How many things have you ever had on the go, like at any one time? Like 4 or 5?
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, easy. So we would love you guys to go to Facebook and find your profitable auto repair shop. It's Rachel's group and it's free to join. You can meet heaps of other workshop owners and find out about what's happening in their business day to day to help with your business. What's some of the discussion that's been going on recently, Rach?
There's always discussions about labour rates, so the hourly rate that we're charging out, around what software other auto repair shops are using, questions around how to get the most from that software. There's the occasional technical question where the guys have tried everything they know to get a car going, so they'll throw a question there in the group and
help.
Everyone will jump in with an answer.
That's so good.
Yeah, so it is a best practice sharing community. It's a great place to be. We don't allow any nastiness. We don't allow spam from suppliers in there. It is literally auto repair shop owners there to support each other.
That's so good. Nice and clean. Coming up in this episode of Performance Hub, you are going to hear about the next of the 4 core reasons why your auto repair shop is failing to reach its full potential with Dean Evans.
Welcome to Performance Hub with Dean Evans.
Welcome back to Performance Hub with Dean Evans. This is the second of 4 of its episodes on the 4 core reasons why your auto repair shop is failing to reach its full potential. And what are we covering today, Dean?
We're covering the second core reason, which is a lack of strategy.
Excellent. So this is obviously something that falls into our skill set here at the Workshop Whisperer with the clients that we help in the engine room, is the strategy they require to implement into their business to get the outcome that they want. So what does it look like when it's not working?
What it looks like when it's not working is complete chaos. They'll be running around putting out small spot fires, really just jumping from problem to problem to problem. Mostly it'll be characterised by a feeling of overwhelm. There's so much that needs to be done, they just don't know where to start, or if they do start, they're doing things in the wrong order. Or on the other end, it's just a complete feeling of frustration. You know, they know that it could be working so much better, but it's just not clicking and it's just not moving in the direction or at the speed that they were wishing, waiting or hoping for it to happen.
Okay, so what are the elements that we need to be focused on here so that we can start to move the business towards the potential that we know it's got?
Yeah, 3 fundamental elements that help you overcome a lack of strategy is focusing on pricing, focusing on productivity, and focusing on the overall profitability of your workshop.
With pricing, this is, something we get on top of straight away when a client comes into the engine room. There's so much work that we get straight onto in the first 90 days with a new engine room client. And pricing and margins forms a huge chunk of that. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, well, if we talk about the 2 layers of pricing, it's really what you price your parts, your products, your services at, and what you purchase your parts and products from your suppliers, the price you purchase them at. And again, when we can start to make some adjustments, some improvements to each one of those, well, there's actually more money that tips into your business bucket, but most importantly, more money that stays in that business bucket. That's super, super important. So to go back to your first point about pricing, all too often we see auto repair shop owners price their products and their parts with their customer's wallet at the forefront of their mind. Not what their business needs to make, but what they believe the customer is willing to pay. And that's a real problem because in almost every single case, you will underprice, undercut your value and not make the required profit margin on any part or any product that you utilise or any service that you deliver inside your workshop.
And it's probably fair to say that it's not just the customer's wallet that they're thinking of. They're thinking of their wallet and what they would like to pay. And, that might be a bit too much. So they immediately wipe off labour hours or parts margin to make themselves feel better about the invoice they're going to give the customer. And that is a big no-no.
Yeah, well, the term we use for that is emotional discounting.
Correct.
And pro tip there, if you have a problem pricing parts of your product, your services appropriately, have someone else do it on your behalf so you don't get that guilty feeling of going, oh, they're not going to say yes to this. And so you actually sell yourself out of that sale.
Avoid mistakes others are making and take your auto repair shop to the next level. To reach out, email admin@workshopwhisperer.com with the subject Workshop Whispers, and we'll answer your question in our next Workshop Whispers episode.
Okay, so productivity was our next one.
Well, the small piece before that on pricing was also, everyone has to be doing a consistent, ongoing expense review. How much does it cost you to purchase the parts and the products that you use? So while it's important to be focused on your pricing, your margins, what you get paid by your customers, it's equally important to consistently review and reset what you purchase your parts and products at from your suppliers. They are like every other business. They want to ensure that they can keep their customers happy, keep those relationships going long term. And certainly our experience has been, suppliers that want to help you, want to serve you, will work with you on ensuring that your purchase price for what you need for your workshop works for both them and you, and that should never be underestimated as one tactic to take on in running a successful auto repair shop.
Very true. So what's our next element?
Our next element is productivity, and this is all about getting your team, perhaps even yourself, working as effectively and efficiently as you possibly can, so you are charging out, billing out the greatest volume of available hours every day, every week, every month. And again, when we have this conversation, certainly with individuals who are talking to us because they know they've got some problems in the workshop, or when new clients come into our high-level coaching program, the Engine Room, we're always having a conversation about productivity. And they'll tell us, no, the team's working really, really well, but you know what? When we actually go in and investigate and we look at the data, well, we find a very different story, because the numbers don't lie. And again, more often than not, productivity level is 10 to 20% lower, sometimes even more, than what the workshop owner felt it was like. And feelings aren't facts, they're merely feedback. So we here deal with the fact. We know, we measure, we test, we discover what your productivity level is. And again, in most cases, it is significantly lower than what the workshop owner thought or felt it would be.
Yeah, I often find that productivity, it's a place where they don't necessarily want to go. They want to keep their head in the sand with this one, and they fight for the right not to know. And I had somebody ask us in our free Facebook group just last week, they asked a question, what should my ratio be for technicians to service advisors? And I said, well, there's a benchmark for that. This is what it is. But tell me, how many technicians and service advisors do you have at the moment? And I said, and then what's your productivity for your team as a whole? And then they wouldn't tell me what the figure was. They gave me some, vague answer. And I said, well, I'm sorry, but I can't actually provide you with the answer that you need to make a decision here, because you're not actually willing to go there. So the numbers always give us the answers. The numbers tell the story.
You're on a hiding to nothing if you're running your business on feelings instead of facts. And when we talk about productivity, there's also a great opportunity that exists in that, to introduce some healthy, what we call co-opetition into your business. Your winners want to be held accountable. They want to know how they're performing against benchmarks. They want to see their progress. They want to track their improvement. Individuals, either owners or team members alike, that don't want to fess up to that result, they're not going to be a fit for your workplace, unless you're the kind of owner that wants to bury your own head in the sand and not know those numbers, because you're essentially permitting low productivity.
Take a smoko and review us on your Apple Podcast app or wherever you listen.
Okay, and what's our third element?
Third element is the only reason why anyone should ever go into business for themselves, the only reason why anyone should ever open up their own workshop, and that is profitability. If you do not have a proven method for growing, improving, scaling the profitability of your workshop, then seriously, you should get out now. I can't be any more blunter than that, because profits give you the choices to live the life you want to live. It's the way you pay for your your home. It's the way you pay for your life. It's the way that you educate your children. It's the way that you invest in future wealth, so you create more cash producing assets than just your workshop. If you are not growing your profits, if you are not focused on your profits, then seriously, you are looking at the completely wrong dashboard in your auto repair shop.
And it's never a question of, do the shop owners work hard enough? That's never the issue. We speak to so many shop owners who are the technician and their wives, and they're doing 60, 70, even more hours per week. That is never the issue, but it's the understanding of how to make that translate into a profit you can walk away with that ends up in your bank account, that gives you the choice to do what you want.
Look, if hard work was the secret to success, there'd be no Workshop Whisperer, there'd be no Engine Room, there'd be no Your Profitable Auto Repair Shop. You would all have this nailed. We would just be having a nice conversation with each other this morning, but no one listening. The truth is, it's not your hard work. But too often you work so hard on the wrong things. You're not focused on the key areas inside your workshop that are going to increase your profits. And word to the wise, very rarely is the answer get more cars. If you think of your business like a bucket, every business has a hole in that bucket. It doesn't matter how fast I pour water into that bucket. If we do not find and fix the holes that you've got inside your business bucket, the water is just going to leak out even quicker. And this is the key thing that people need to understand with profitability. It's about fixing the business you've got now, finding and fixing the leaks you've got now, not going and finding more customers to pour into a leaking system.
So that's our element number 2 of the core reasons why your auto repair shop may not be living up to its potential: pricing, productivity, and profit. On our next Performance Hub episode, we'll be deep diving into the third core reason why your auto repair shop may not be living up to its potential, which is all around the support that your auto repair shop may not be receiving. So don't miss that one. Thanks so much for joining us again today, Dean.
Thanks, Rach. Looking forward to the next episode.
And make sure you jump straight into our free Facebook group called Your Profitable Auto Repair Shop, where we're having conversations just like this with auto repair shop owners just like you every single day. See you again next week.
Thanks for listening to Whispering Loudly, the award-winning Workshop Whisperer podcast, as featured by Apple, with Rachel Evans, the #1 automotive business coach in the aftermarket. Thanks to Platinum sponsor Podium and Titanium sponsor Mechanic Desk.